But it looks like I'm here early. See, I told you I might switch things up. Go live early. Salute to everyone that's here. Lewis, Time is Money, Mark, Sherelle. Make sure y'all like the stream. We got some things that we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about Cam Newton's interview with Kendra G and how she got exposed. We're going to talk about, people want me to talk about this Jay-Z interview. I hadn't talked about it up until now. So while I'm live, I'm going to address this interview. And also I'm going to talk about Jada Pinkett losing her mind. The heifer's losing her mind. All right. So before I get started, make sure that y'all are following me on all my socials. X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok as well. Even though I don't post too much on there. I post like my shorts on there for right now. Also, if y'all want to send me topics, and I need y'all to listen to me, send it to the email that you see on the screen, jadablacklive@gmail.com. All right, jadablacklive@gmail.com. All right. Salute to everybody that's coming into the chat room. What's good, Eric Millions, Accounting Tom, Lombardi Lee. Yeah, hopefully y'all had a good Easter. I had a good Easter. Hopefully y'all have a good Easter as well. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the promo for Tory Lanez. You know what I'm saying? Tory knows ball, man. Listen, just because he in jail don't mean you can stop him from making. They've tried, but you can't stop him from making music, man. And he has more buzz and more of an audience than Meg Thee Stallion ever could have. Now she's trying to be a housewife. She's trying to be a housewife now. Yeah. I'm thinking of just doing these like these noon type streams. I'm waiting for y'all to come in. But again, make sure y'all follow the socials. X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Go to the email, send me topics. Y'all can send me topics while I'm live right now. I may do the topics, you know what I'm saying? But we got a lot of topics that we're going to cover. Not only going to speak about these topics, I got some other topics as well. Let's see. I'm going to talk about Kenny Smith getting married again after his first price. We're also going to talk about Jaden Ivy's wife has come out of hiding. Jaden Ivy's wife has come out of hiding. And she claims she ain't went nowhere. Okay. But first, I want to talk about something I came across on social media. Mortal Beast was good. Make sure y'all like the stream. Share the stream. I want to talk about something I came across on social media. There's this female by the name of Angel Fernandez. Is it Fernandez? She's the 6'7" female. She was on Drewski's dating show, right? Now, this is her. Now, she posted this tweet. Now, this particular female here, Angel Fernandez, she's a tall 6'7" chick, right? She was on Drewski's dating show. She posted this tweet about why are men no longer chasing them. You know what's interesting about this? I was looking through my archives, and I told y'all I was going to maybe start to redo some of my old videos because I spoke on a topic similar to this called Why Men Are Starting to Ignore the Pretty Girls. I made that video over 9 years ago. I spoke about that over 9 years ago about, men are going to stop chasing. Now, I'm going to get to some of the comments because some of the comments was hilarious too, right? And I just think that men don't have to chase. They really don't. And women believe that because they've gotten sluttier with their outward appearance that men are going to chase them more. No, men are going to see you for what you are. That is an attention seeker. If you are a female who goes out of your way to be an attention seeker, of course men are not going to bite the bait anymore. You got women who leave the house wearing booty shorts and tank tops. They walk around all day in like the most revealing gym wear. Y'all see these chicks. Riderwise was good. Kenny was good. Make sure y'all like the stream. Boss Lady, what's up? Yeah, it's an early live. I'm trying to do something a little bit different and go live a little bit earlier, right? And shout out to everybody that's following that, because I'm live on Kick right now. I'm live on Rumble right now. I'm live on Twitch right now. Okay. So hopefully y'all are subscribed to those other platforms as well. Jada Black. So Angel is a type of female. She, people might think that because she's asked, she posts tweets like this. People might say this is rhetorical. I don't think it's rhetorical. I think that genuinely women like her, whose whole life has become getting attention, they want to know why it's not enough anymore. Do y'all remember what Instagram was like 10, 12, 13 years ago? Back when Instagram was in its early days, the only women that you saw really looking slowish was the video vixens, the chicks who were the strippers and the video vixens, because they'd be promoting parties and you see them on their flyers, very revealing, right? The regular women weren't really doing that. They weren't really taking it that far. But it started to change, once they started making the updates where they could post videos. And then women realized they can get attention from men outside of their city and state. I mean, you could have done that before with Facebook and MySpace, but it's different now because Instagram, people can go on your page, all they see is pictures and videos. So women are able to create a version of themselves that they never were able to before. And they think that version of themselves makes them more viable for men that they weren't able to get before. Like, women have become very delusional. They think that because they have big assets and big tits, that somehow all these men are going to be chasing them. You're going to get attention from some men, but they're going to want to screw you. But these women want to feel pretty. They've never felt pretty in their life. Social media has presented an opportunity for these women to finally feel attractive because they've never felt attractive before. So you have females like this who will get online and ask these questions. We say, well, it's rhetorical, Drake. Well, no, I don't. It could be, but I don't think it is because I just don't think men are chasing women the way they used to. I really don't. I think that men are not biting the bait anymore. Not biting the bait. That's a weird thing to say. Not taking the bait anymore. They understand that these women are all show and that's it. And for the most part, these heifers have boyfriends or husbands who allow them to do these things because they're afraid of losing them. So they allow these women to get online and act single. And I'm telling you right now, these women ain't being faithful. These women are cheating just like they claim men are. Hell, I think it might be 50-50 because a lot of these women have deep, low self-esteem and they've never felt loved in their life. And it don't matter if they're in a relationship or married. At the end of the day, the attention from new men is intoxicating. It's intoxicating for them to be able to wake up every day and go get attention from these men. That low self-esteem is undefeated. It really is. And that's why a lot of these women are not wife material. That's why a lot of these women aren't worth being in long-term relationships. This is why they're crashing out. I just did it. Yeah, for those of you who was here on one of my previous live streams recently, I showed y'all videos of women crying because they don't have a relationship. They don't have love. Because they played around and thought that they had all this time. And by the time that they were done in the streets, they really did not have the options that they thought they did. And they have to understand that. These men are not going to be just waiting around for you to figure out who you are and what you want. It don't matter how you look. Men could care less about how you look. Listen, there's attractive women everywhere. And they're not just all on the internet. We know that you heifers get online and dress any kind of way because you want attention, because you get off on it. When these women get up in the morning, they don't check their text messages or voicemails. They check their Instagram mentions and DMs because they live for that attention. They want to see what guy they were able to pull in. But men are not being pulled in anymore. Men understand that we have options. We don't have to go after these women who we know are just looking for attention. We know where the attractive women are. We know the women who will give us play, and we're going to go to those women. This is why you seeing men go overseas. And that's why women are in their feels about these men traveling. You got some males as well that's upset about it. But women are really upset about it because they understand a man with options is a man that can't be controlled with lust because he has options, and he's not going to just go after you because, you think that you're this super attractive female and, he hasn't come across any other woman like you, which you come across women like, no diss to Angel, but you come across women that look like her all over social media. They're just not as tall, Again, make sure y'all like the stream. Follow the socials. Again, send me topics to the email that you want to see. Let's get into this first topic of this Cam Newton interview with Kendra G. Let's see. I want to say this about, Cam Newton, this interview with Kendra G. I just find it to be very disingenuous how, she's on here as some sort of dating expert when all she did was take Kevin Samuels' formula and use it for herself. Before that, she was interviewing people on a radio show. I still remember the episode or the show where she interviewed Corey Holcomb. And she went from, I guess, doing radio to now all of a sudden she's the leading dating coach. You took Kevin Samuels' whole platform, minus the entertainment, because let's be real, who's really entertained by Kendra G's show? Except for, mentally unstable women who feel like Kendra G is giving them an opportunity to get the man that they want. And let me tell you this, if you have to come to the internet to get the man that you want, then obviously you failing at something. You obviously failing at something. And I think that Kendra G, she's a representative of the type of woman who thinks that, because she's a woman and, there are people who find her attractive, that she can get on social media and be a matchmaker. A woman who's single, a woman who dated a guy who apparently might have been a bit of a scammer. Y'all listening to women who stole somebody else's platform. Now, I guess because she's nicer to these heifers and she don't really check them like that somehow it makes it better. But she lacks the understanding of being married. She's never been that. So why does she get so much credibility from that? Why, you know what I'm saying? Why is she out there as the face of internet dating? And she, now in this interview, she brags about all these weddings that's coming together because of her. How do we know these things are going to last? How do we know that these people are going to be changed? You know, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Kevin Samuels have like a Facebook group where people got together and they were getting together coupled up, right? So it's not like what she's doing is like nobody else has been able to do this. I just think that, you know, she gives women who are delusional hope. And delusional women need their bubbles burst. Okay? And that's all I've seen from her show is delusional women being given an opportunity to be delusional. Look at some of I've seen, you know, some shows where women just have outrageous demands of what she wants in a man. But you out here as a single mama of multiple kids. And you're dysfunctional. You don't have your life together. How can you sit up there and make demands of somebody and you don't have your stuff together? It's just like these women who get on here and brag about their accomplishments because they think a man is attracted to their portfolio. A man could care less about your portfolio. Again, make sure y'all like the stream. Let's get the likes up. I'm out here in this afternoon live. What's good, G. Marie Rochester? Salute to the members. Salute to the chat elite. What's good, Dad? Make sure y'all like the stream. Yeah, I'm live early. This is an experiment. We'll see where this goes, right? I want people to understand something. We're going to get to this clip. Women like Kendra G copy men because they think that what they do is better. They think that the lies that they tell these heifers is better than the truth that these men tell these heifers. See, yeah, it doesn't matter how your portfolio. We don't care about your portfolio. Do these women have the skill set? What's good, Mr. Hill? Do these women have the skill set to make a relationship work? I don't think so. Let's get into this clip. Hold on. Let me put it back up. Put it back up here.
I think my question is, why should somebody listen to you?
Oh, because I have the data to support anything that I say.
Okay.
You know, what people, I know some people just learned of me from my single show that I started 6 years ago. But like I said, I am a 25-year plus television and radio.
That timing is interesting. Didn't Kevin start his show, right around that time? And she really had no buzz. She was just copying and pasting, like just straight up stealing, right?
Journalists. Before interviewing single people, I used to interview celebrities, for a living. And there's things that I know now that I did not know 6 years ago. I wouldn't even spoke on it. I always knew, kind of like you, kind of like most people, right. We know our reality, right? So I literally have done a case study. Oh. I have talked to more than 16,000 single people. I have 4 weddings this year, all because...
Do y'all believe she's talked to 6,000 people? Is it 16,000? Did she say that? Oh, let me go back. Did she say 16,000?
Yeah, but I think my question is, why should somebody listen to you?
Oh, because I have the data to support any.
Yeah, like how did she get this data? Did she look at her YouTube analytics or Instagram analytics? How do you get these numbers?
anything that I say.
Okay.
You know, I know some people just learned of me from my single show that I started 6 years ago. But like I said, I am a 25-year plus television and radio journalist. Before interviewing single people, I used to interview celebrities, you know, for a living. And there's things that I know now that I did not know 6 years ago. I wouldn't even spoke on it. You know, I always knew, kind of like you, kind of like most people,
right.
We know our reality, right? So I literally have done a case study. I have talked to more than 16,000 single people. I have 4 weddings this year, all because of my platform. One in Paris, one in Antigua, one in the Bahamas, and then there's one local in America.
And do y'all believe that? Now, anybody who may have followed her on social media, is she actually posting these people and their weddings? Like, people can say they're getting married, but are they actually going to follow through?
But overall, more than 20 people have gotten married from my platform. I haven't given
Even Cam thinks that that's bullshit.
birth to a baby, but there's children on this planet because of the platform. But I want to reset and give that to God, because I don't want to act like
Lord.
I'm the big person doing it. I really do feel as though God used me as a vessel for this mission.
Oh my! Oh no! Is she using God? What have I told? Why do women use God to push their narrative? Did he or did you see what was working with Kevin Samuels and say, I can do that? Just say that. Why is she saying God told her to do that? Did he really tell you to do that? Or did you see what was working for somebody else and you decided to do it because you thought you could do it better?
So anything I say, it's supported with data. It's supported with doing research. A lot of times when people read numbers, they read statistics. Well, I'm the one that collected the information so you can have the statistic.
So that's why somebody should listen to you?
Well, how about this? You don't have to listen. So I understand what you're saying. If you don't have to take what I say, because at the end of the day, it's your life, so you can do what you want with it. But if I'm gonna join the conversation, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think we're in a space in content that everybody has something to say about something.
Okay.
And sometimes that conversation subject is relationships. I think the question or the head scratcher sometimes is, what gives you the right to bring people together? Are you married?
I'm not married.
Have you ever been married?
No, I haven't.
Have you been engaged?
I have been engaged. But before you go any further, what's the name of my show? It's called Kendra G Singles.
Yeah.
It's not called Kendra G Married. It's
But wait a minute. Wasn't she bragging about all these weddings? She's bragging about all these weddings that she's putting together because of her platform. Those women are coming to you for what? You're saying these women are coming to you for advice on getting married. I guess she puts singles as like deniability. When she means God, she means the Godfather Kevin.
It's not called Kendra G Relationship. How I even got birth is because I'm single.
Yep.
I was in a relationship during COVID. We broke up during COVID. The world is shut down. Because single life outside is popping, right? But single life during COVID, when you break up, you had nothing. I felt like I was Will Smith and I Am Legend. If we go back to that time, D Nice was connecting us all via Instagram Live with music. So literally, I'm like, if I feel this way single, I know other people around the world probably feel this way single. So then I went on IG Live and I said, listen, I'm hooking up single people tonight. And that one night, I knew I changed my life forever, because I came from media. For one, it was regular people. You know, we see people in the comment sections, I seen their houses. They call in, right? And I'm media trained, so it doesn't seem like there's an art to it, but there's an art to it. So if everybody could do it, they would. So the purpose of the show, it's a live dating show. So how it works is, let's just say Cam Newton was single. You call in, I'll ask you the questions, the world watching, then they reach out to you. As they reach out to you, you have several. Well, now we have the Kendra G Singles dating app. We grew from Instagram to Facebook to YouTube, and now we have a bona fide dating app. So you call into the dating app, they see you live, and then they reach out to you. So instead of you just going off of a picture, now you actually go off of a video.
Yo. Oh man, yo, Cam does not look amused.
Dating is to stay single or to get
No,
in a
I
relationship?
think dating, I think life is a journey, right? So you're not married. You've been very vocal about not wanting to get married, but you're in a relationship, right? There's some people, there's different dynamics, right? So you can be single, but single is becoming a lifestyle choice for some. We are in a new phase.
Hey, somebody let me know in the comment section, does Kendra G do private coaching? Because if she does private coaching, that eliminates her whole argument. Let me see if Kendra G does private coaching. I just watched a clip of this podcast. What's good, Devon? Does she do private coaching? Because that would kill her whole argument. Because what are you doing private coaching in? Now again, that's if she does it. I don't know if she does it. Ramon was good. Yes, she does. Oh, she does private coaching. Oh. Oh. Social media masterclass. Order Kendra G singles card game. Now, she has her own dating app. She has, let's see. She tries to sell courses to be as successful like her. Okay. I am Jermaine. What's good? Was it Mr. J Taka? Hannibal was good. Natalia, what's up? Say Kendra's not a dating coach. She comes across as a dating coach. It says, Ms. J says, Kendra does workshops, coaching, and etc. But she making it seem like all she does is host shows. That's it. She just hosts shows, and that's about it. You know, there's nothing else going on. She just hosts a social media show, and that's it. She doesn't. That is a lie. I hope that people are giving me the right information here. Divine was good.
Days where people are saying, you know what, I'm happy single, and that's what it is. And dating works better for them. So when you date, that's the whole purpose of dating. You find someone that you might match with and you might stay long with, or you grow from and you go. The problem right now is we are not acknowledging how much our world has changed. See, we used to go by these old dating rules where there was a time when women couldn't even get jobs, couldn't get bank accounts. You know, all men could get a woman because it was survival. We didn't have a choice. So it's not like Rufus wasn't down the street with Bernadine. It's just Bernadine didn't have a Facebook page to post the dinner that she made for Rufus.
Well, I'm looking at her social media now. And it says that she does a master class. Kendra G Business of Social Media Masterclass, how to make money online using social media. Are you ready to learn exact online strategies influencers, coaches, and creators use to turn posts, videos, and engagement into real income? Yeah, she is a coach. She is a coach. She is out here coaching. She is out here getting fees to coach. She's a coach. There's a classic content creator from before money essential. Right, I've been doing this before the super chats, before the StreamYards, when there was no money in it. You know, all you used to look forward to making content, this is how I know, was growing your channel. That's it. And there was, there is AdSense there, but there wasn't the incentives that you have now with YouTube. YouTube added so many incentives, you know, it's crazy.
So, you know, your man might have been somewhere, but it wasn't in your face. It was a different time. That time has changed because women now, we're able to have voices, we're able to have jobs, we're able to support ourselves. So dating has changed. Women are doing well in the financial category.
Oh, here we go.
So when you have all those things in a mix, also with social media, that's really the game changer, because you could be in Atlanta and like.
Let me just say this real quick. Again, this is the portfolio resume. Men do not care. Let me just say this. Men do not care about your resume. We don't care about your portfolios. We do not care about those things. That's why you heifers are single, because y'all think we care about that stuff. We're not looking for a business partner. We're looking for somebody to be in a relationship with. That's why these heifers are single and they're going to Kendra G. We don't want to make business relationships. We want relationships. Why do women think that we looking for portfolios? This is why you heifers can't keep a man. Now you too busy trying to compete with him. You're trying to compete with men. And that's why you run into Kendra G for help. You're running to Kendra G for help. Kendra shitted on Kevin Samuels, and then when he passed, she took over his niche, one of which is coaching. Yep, that's what it looks like. She sure did. She tried to become everything that Kevin said because she was jealous. She wanted to be him. And when he passed away, that void was made. I don't think she's really filled it. I think she's done that with like maybe women. But, you know, she's trying. That's why she's always getting these interviews, because they think that she didn't start nothing. She copied and, you know, and tried to be. And she's made a business out of it. And they really think that we care about portfolios. We care about resumes. We care about your degrees. Men do not care about those things when it comes to the women that they are dating. I don't understand why women don't get this. I said the same thing in my Ari Lennox video. We do not care. And by the way, if y'all have not seen it, just go to any of my YouTube channel walls. You'll see the video. Men don't care about degrees. We don't care that you know what I'm saying, that you've done all these things and you've become successful. We just want to know whether you're mentally stable to be a mother to our children, to be a wife, to be able to take care of the home when we're not there. That's what we want to know. Can you nurture the children? Can you be there for me when I need you? Shout out to Divine Photos. Good to see you.
The women are the ones to blame for elevating Kendra to new heights, along with Kendra exploiting sisters for views.
Absolutely. Appreciate that, Divine Photos. She's absolutely... Look at the women who are on her show.
Made a comment that Super Chat flagged for some reason.
Well, I appreciate it. I am Jermaine. I got this Super Chat. But I appreciate it. YouTube is like that. They're actually... I guess they've put it in the system now because they made so many changes where they can just, certain words can be, automatic flagged. So if comments aren't showing up, it's probably because YouTube put something in it to where when you try to type something, it just won't go through. All right. But I appreciate it though. Appreciate you supporting the channel today. I am Jermaine. Between the currency losing value, prices rising, income not increasing, relationship wars, the country going to hell, and we have to be concerned with flexing. That's why I say flexing to me is just, people who flex are very insecure.
your wife could be in Texas. That's literally what happened. From my show, the first year, and literally like the first week, I had a guy that came on. He was living in Charlotte. Again, it's international, worldwide. There was a girl living in Miami that saw him on the show. He came on my show May 2nd. They got married the following year, May 2nd. They now have 2 kids together. And everyone that's met from my show, they would tell you, if it wasn't for this platform, we would have never met, because it launches you out to the world. It's one thing for you to see people in your face, but now you have a show to see people from anywhere around the world.
How do you address the rumors that Shay...
It's crazy. Rather than be nice, they want to be us. That's why Pia was winning with her cooking content.
Appreciate that, Hannibal Africanus. Yeah. And Kai cooking with Kaya, you know, she got so much pushback from that, you know, she has imploded. She's imploded because those women were making fun of her. And also her going on that Streamer University ruined her too, by the way. I may have to speak on that, cooking with Kaya at some point. Because she had a promising start, but a lot of jealous heifers who want to be her, they want the attention that she got. And also, you know, for some reason, women want men to hate women. We would never hate women, especially if they're attractive, unless they say something stupid, right? But jealousy, women are just jealous of each other. That's why the sisterhood doesn't exist. All you just have is a bunch of jealous, hating heifers who just come to destroy women or men. There is no sisterhood, just a bunch of jealousy bring these heifers together to destroy people.
If you're single, you've never been married.
Right.
You've never, you know, you said you was engaged.
Right.
Right. But at the same time, you said, that's why I have a show called Kendra G Singles.
Right.
It's to talk to singles. But I said the ultimate goal for that is, in essence, to matchmake or to put them on a platform that then will have somebody reach out to them, which goes back to the overarching thing is, if you're having all this insight, 16,000 singles that you've spoken to.
Yes.
You know, over a
6 years since COVID. It's 2026.
Over a 6-year span.
Yes.
When I have spoken to experts, doctors, people who are in this field, that's my question. Are we talking about experience that you've actually been through, or is this something that you've observed and said, hey, I talked to this person is married, so I can gain all the information from that married couple, from this divorced couple, from that divorced couple, and this gives me the right to talk about that. I may not have been married. I may not have been divorced. I may not have had a fiance, but I've talked to...
Okay, can I jump in, not to cut you off? What does being married have to do with hosting a single show?
You see, she don't get it. Family, she don't get it. Kendra G just really doesn't get it. She really doesn't. What does it have to do with it? It's called experience, right? When a person's been married, they're able to give the best advice. But the problem is a lot of married women are afraid of their spot being taken. They're afraid that a woman's going to come along and take their man. So a lot of married women don't like to give advice because they are afraid that a woman is going to come along and take their man from them. And they're really afraid of that. So now you're stuck with a bunch of middle-aged single women giving dating advice to younger women, by the way, to younger women. And when you've never been married, those women may want to be married, and they're coming to you for that. When people come to your show, they're talking about marriage. They're not talking about getting a boyfriend. What's the point of going on your show if they're not looking for a husband? Or even a boyfriend, but mainly a husband.
In a relationship.
So I've been in relationships. I'm single right now, but what does that have?
Kendra had the nerve to call out Kevin Samuels for giving advice because he was divorced. But yet women like her praise Steve Harvey, and he divorced 3 ex. Right.
Appreciate that again, Divine Photos, for supporting. See, that's the thing. Like, that's that jealousy. Her jealousy of Kevin Samuels' platform, because she wanted to be in that position. And she would, and not just her, it was other women as well who would talk about, well, how is he going to give dating advice or marriage advice, and he's been divorced? Well, you know, you've never been married, and you were at the early onset of this interview that you're doing with Cam Newton. You're bragging about all these marriages. So how can you sit up there and brag about all these marriages that you claim happened because of your platform, but then say, why does it matter that you've never been married or that you're single and you're giving advice? Lovely says, as a black woman, I can honestly say black women are, never mind. Salute our Rhino Gang. What's good, Prime?
Have to do with hosting a single show?
Has nothing to do with it.
Then why do we keep bringing up married and?
No.
Okay.
The conversation.
Yes.
Question was asked: why should people listen to you? Everyone builds a reputation.
Okay, he's doing his promo right now. So let's get through that.
Website's your competitor.
You know, she don't like those hard questions. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like listen, you're going to get grilled.
When I have these conversations, it's almost a head scratcher because what I speak about.
What's good, Snow Patrol?
Personally, it's through my experiences. No, I have not been married. Okay. No, I have never been engaged or engaged to a person.
And Cam Newton is not a dating coach. Cameron Newton is not a dating coach, heifer. He's not giving men dating advice. He's not giving marriage advice. So her trying to point the finger back at him, which is what a lot of these heifers do. They want to point the finger back at Cam. Cam is not giving dating advice. He's not giving men marriage advice. He's not giving women marriage advice. Why do they always try to point the finger back at him? Right, she was with a Nigerian scammer. That's why she's single again. All right, Sherelle.
But I've dated a lot of women. Mm-hmm. I'm not proud to say that, but that's just my experiences.
Right.
So giving a viral clip, giving something that you may have heard from me, this is not what I've observed other people to do. This is my life. Right. I've been exposed to so many different types and different women that I'm like, okay.
Vivica Fox slandered Kevin. Now she's elderly, overweight, and can't stop crying about 50. She owes the world an apology.
Right, appreciate that, Hannibal. Yeah, she just goofs. She just looks like Hollywood slobbery. It's like when I call Hollywood slobbery, it's when they go to doctors and they get all this work done, and they're already bad built, and they're getting all this work done, and it just makes them look crazy. What happened to being natural, right? What happened to black don't crack, right? I thought she just hosted a show if she's a dating coach. Well, she is a coach. I went over her resume. She does a coaching on her Insta, and she's bragging about matchmaking. She's bragging about all these people who that she speaks to getting married. So what does that call? What do you call her then? You know what, Snow Patrol? She could say that and people would let it ride.
Okay, I'm beginning to get a different kind of dynamic or understanding that this is what women are expecting from me. Sometimes I'm able to give that, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I can be emotionally available, sometimes I'm in my hustlers phase, right, and I can't. So when I talk about relationships, it's not to say that I'm a guru, I'm just giving you my expertise of what I've been through. Right. So now, flipping it back to, you know, how we get to this particular part, it's like, there's a lot of questions that come from a conversation in this type of magnitude is like, well, she talks to singles, and it is her show. It has an amazing platform,
Yes.
and it is entertaining. Above all, it's entertaining.
Yes.
Just to step into people's lives and worlds and to realize what the expectation is. But at the same time, when you do that, you now become susceptible to questions from people who have experienced certain things, whether married or in a relationship or not, given the fact that you're not married or you're not in a relationship. And
Well, I'm not in a relationship right now. I have been in relationship.
now she about to start splaining. You know what I'm saying? She about to start splaining why she don't have a man. What's good, Brian? Kai, you are absolutely right. She needs to denounce it, but she never has. She's never denounced it. Denounce being a dating coach or matchmaker, or whatever.
Okay? A couple things. I hear what you're saying. I don't walk away from it. I stand on a married person could not be successful with hosting my show. The show is called Kendra G Singles. It's on brand. And third, of course, I have life experiences that help me. I have a life experience that really helps me understand a man in your position.
Is she going to talk about the Nigerian guy that she was recently with? She could give women a lot of advice on that. Is she gonna tell women not to date Nigerian men? No. But if he was Black American,
show has allowed me to hear other people's point of views. And
Chill
what
Dog
I learned
was
from my
good.
show is you can't really, dating advice is not one size fit all. It's different dynamics for different people for 1,000 different reasons. So before my show of talking to 16,000 people, I was like you. I could only speak from my point of view. Now what my show has allowed me to do is talk to people who have a different lifestyle, have different desires, different wants, different circumstances, come from different areas, and it gives me a better assessment.
I think let's speak on what we know to be true. That's what you've heard personally.
But how do you think, okay, let me ask you this. When you read a statistic, how do you think they collect the information?
Yeah, but if I'm only giving you things that I've experienced, if that's what you heard, let me rephrase that and say,
that's what you said.
I can give you my experiences and experiences of others.
And that's the same thing well, then we're doing the same thing. Because I can give my experience, and I have 16,000 other experiences I can share. So who do you think?
How does she come up with that number? Chat, how does she come up with that number? How does she come up with 16,000? Right, only like 4 or 5 marriages, not a good, right. 16,000 people? Are they bots? Are they bots? Kendra G is a fast talker. Cam is confused. I think Cam is confused right now. I wouldn't say Cam is dumb. I just think Cam is confused right now because she's a fast talker. Kendra G is a fast talker. She can talk her way out of anything, almost anything, right? Oh, I don't think if it's the Nigerian guy, she's not with him, Brian. She's a fast talker. And she can talk her way out of things. 16,000 is crazy. You know what I'm saying? That is crazy. That would mean that her platform is huge. I'm talking like, she has like tens of millions of followers to have spoken to 16,000 singles, quote unquote. And by the way, why would that number of people come to her? It's crazy. Yeah, that sounds like bots. 16,000. She's talking about her Facebook group. Does she have a Facebook group of 16,000 or I don't know. She's talking about Instagram. Like, what is she talking about? She talking about Patreon or the people who signed up to her app? Is that the number she's going off of?
I think is capable of having this conversation.
If I'm taking relationship advice, I want to me personally,
Yes.
I prefer it to come from somebody who's been in a relationship or.
I've been in a relationship.
Facts.
I'm not in one right now. So we have to be current in a relationship.
Listen, man. I've never given marriage advice. I've just tell y'all I'm not a marriage guy. But if I was to give marriage advice, I need to have a wife. Like, how am I going to tell you my day-to-day experiences as a married man if I'm not married? But there are people who do that. It is what it is. Right? Dating advice. Do you have to be in a relationship, not in a relationship? I don't know. I don't really think that. But when it comes to marriage, that's different. That's different. You know, especially if you've never been married. How would you know? Did you watch a movie or a documentary on marriage? Like, how would you know how a marriage and the things that go on day to day in married people's lives? She has talked to a lot of people multiple times. I don't think that she's taken account of that. That's true. And she's making it seem like it's 16,000 people. She's fudging the numbers.
I mean,
I would want somebody, if I have expectations to be, let's say, married.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody had, me personally, if
Right.
somebody hasn't been married, it would be hard for me to receive what they're telling me.
I got you. Let me ask you a question. If I was married and my husband was in jail, but I'm married,
Yeah.
would you value that advice?
Oh, Lord.
You're married, so yes.
Okay, well, that's where we differ.
Why is that different? There's a bunch of women married to men in jail. and listen, she thought she ate on that one, as the young people would say. She really thought she ate with that one. Like, seriously, you using an analogy of a man being in jail and being married to a woman. I mean, they are still married. They make joint decisions, right? He probably has things signed over into her name, especially if he's locked up, right? But they still been married. What if they were together before they were married together before he went to jail? Like, why would that be your analogy to use? That's just crazy.
So what I've learned is just because you're married doesn't mean you are capable of giving me advice, because people get married for the wrong reasons every day.
Well, you just gave one example. It's many
No,
other
but I'm giving
examples.
one example because we're talking about the disclaimer of marriage.
Can I ask you this?
Yes, you can.
Do you have plans to be married?
At this stage, marriage now for me is a business.
That means no. That means no. She don't plan on getting married because she wouldn't be able to function in a marriage. The only way that she'd be able to marry is if she's pushing him around and she's running a household. I think she's incapable of being with a strong man who can lead a household. I don't think she's capable of that. I think she would rebel against it and then he would leave.
Right? Like, I'm 46 years old, very happy to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 20. So I'm at a stage where if I were to get married, it's deeper than love. I could be in partnership, committed relationship, in a dynamic without the marriage certificate. It would have to align so much for me to get married now because I have too much business at stake to think about.
Given what you said,
Yes.
right? Do you have vision?
Wait, so how can you be pro-marriage and anti-marriage? That is the bipolar mindset of these women, like Kendra G. Like, she wants women to be married. She wants men to marry women, but she herself is totally against marriage. Where you said that, Sherelle? That's just that is these women. They are straight up. They play in people's faces. A lot of these women really don't want marriage. They just say they do. But they really don't. They want to sound normal. They understand that if they were to verbalize that they don't want marriage, it would vindicate the red pill philosophy and mindset of men shelving marriage and not getting married. They would join that group of people's thinking on marriage, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to prove that we were right and that these heifers don't want marriage. They use marriage for what they could use it for. Right, Jermaine. She don't want to lose the money that she's made. And if she gets married to a man that makes less than her, because that's the only type of man that's going to marry her, let's be real. He's going to want her money and she's not going to want to give it up. You see, when women have money and assets, they don't want to split that with the man if they divorce. Women want to protect their assets. Meanwhile, they want men to split their assets after a marriage is over during a divorce. Women be they be so giddy to go after a man's money. But they go out of their way to protect theirs if they were to get with a man that makes less than them. Make sure y'all like the stream. Let's get the likes up, fam.
To be in a committed relationship.
If it makes sense. Like if I've been in relationships and at times it made sense. It was healthy and then it's not healthy no more. I support this. I would tell a person to be single and in a healthy relationship with yourself. I'm not going to just be in something to please society's version of what they think.
Which is fair.
I think that that's the issue that's going on. And I support marriage. I literally do. But everybody is not supposed to be married.
We're not talking about everybody, Kendra.
Well, I know, but
I'm specifically talking to you.
You're specifically talking to me. I would do marriage if it made sense in all ways.
Okay, so my next follow-up question, which I was trying to ask is, would you continue to do your show, Kendra G Singles, if you were to find the right person?
Of course.
Because now...
Yes, of course, but we are expanding. I have a new host, shout out to Tron Maurice.
Yeah.
I am adding hosts because we're just growing, but I'll always, I'm the face of the brand, so I'm always going to be affiliated.
So it's a brand. She don't want marriage, man. But she's pushing marriage onto other women. That is Western women in 2026. They don't want marriage. But they don't want to prove red pill men right. Because I've been saying this for years, almost 10 years. I've been telling y'all these heifers don't want marriage. They are straight up lying and being deceitful. Absolutely deceitful. Appreciate that, Sherelle. Yeah, promoting marriage, but she thinking like Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones talking about she don't want marriage. Is anybody clamoring to marry Leslie Jones? Like, side note. Right. Like, it don't make any sense how, it's a single show, but, if she was getting a relationship, yeah, she still do the show. Because it's contradictory. It's of what she's been trying to put the message out saying, or, not necessarily teaching women about marriage and promoting that or, coaching that. But it's a single show. But if she's no longer single, she still wants to do a show about singles. Divine, it's called narcissism.
So that's but the reason why I asked that is your words.
Yes.
You do not think a married person can host a show.
I did say that.
That's why I asked.
Right.
Do you have plans to be married? And if you were to get married, do you still have plans to...
Okay. Good question. That's fair. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that.
Bro, you over here got your...
No, I got you. I'm going to give you that one.
Damn.
Okay. He had an alley-oop with that one.
He got her on that one. Cam got her on that one. And she had to admit that he had her. And also, she's probably... He's wearing her down, man. You could just tell he's wearing her down. She had her guard up, but it ain't enough. And she had to capitulate. She had to capitulate to him in that one, right? And that's usually what happens when you talk to them and you question them enough. You'll get them to see their situation and see how hypocritical it is. What's good, Sigma?
He had an alley-oop with that one.
If you just answer the questions and not take offense to it, because I feel like you got your gloves on right now.
Well, I think
I'm just trying to have a high value conversation.
I don't like high value. I don't.
Well,
subscribe.
we trying to have a conversation that people
Yes.
can appreciate.
Right.
And
Oh, she don't like high value, really? Well, what about the high value concepts that you took for yourself, but you don't like high value? That word, she don't like that word high value. But you took the concepts of it, of what value is, and you applied it to your show. But okay.
And it's okay, and I will preface
Right.
this. It's okay to agree to disagree.
Absolutely. Let me say this, Touche. You did your one with that one. When I say that a married person can't host my show, a lot of times married people come in with their version of marriage, right? Something might work for you. I respect it. I love it. Most of my friends are married. I respect it. I love it. But I'm unique in what my mission and my purpose is. We kind of went past it, but I was engaged.
Okay.
And I went to college, met a wonderful man. We dated, did the thing that they tell women to do. Go to college, get your MRS. Met a wonderful guy. We ended up getting engaged years after
What's
college.
MRS?
MRS, your missus. MRS.
Oh.
So there's a saying, instead of going to get your doctorate, go to college to find your mister, so get your MRS.
Just to preface that,
I know
it's
you don't know
PhD,
nothing about marriage, child. That part
MBA,
allergic to that word.
But you go to college to get a PhD?
No, well, no.
So when you said MRS,
no,
it's like...
well, let's talk about it. There's
Does she
plenty
have a
of girls that
PhD? Does she have a PhD too?
go to college in order to meet their husband. That's a real thing. They're going to college, they're trying, and most people do kind of get married at time in college.
It happens outside of college too.
It can happen outside of college too, but that is also a goal. So what I was saying is it wasn't necessarily my goal, but that's what happened. I was in a relationship, amazing man, we got engaged. One rule that we made, which I'm so happy we made, is we will never get divorced. And having that rule made me not think about 26-year-old Kendra G. I had to think about 90-year-old Kendra G, because I'm gonna do this and there's no out. And I feel as though if more people went into marriage where we're not getting a divorce, they would do what we did. And we took it really serious. And one of the things that we learned was we had love, but we had different life plans. At this time, I'm early in my radio career. I'm making $7 an hour. He's an electrical engineer, career way more promising than mine, right?
And by the way, she was still working in radio as of 6 years ago. She was still working in radio until she got the bright idea to incorporate aspects of Kevin Samuel's show, and she no longer had to do that.
Normally happens when a woman gets married, normally you conform to the man. That's usually how it works.
Okay.
The woman pretty much suppresses her dreams and you follow the man. Nothing wrong with that.
Y'all see this propaganda? I've seen plenty of marriages where a man is successful, or he's the breadwinner, but the wife still goes to school, she gets her degrees, she starts her own businesses, right? These men are not suppressing these women. That is nonsense. These women are using 1960s propaganda. He's trying to suppress you and stop you from being successful. You don't need him. Go get on welfare in Section 8. You don't need him. Go get food stamps. The government can be the man of the house. Why are they still using these lame talking points that make no sense? I see plenty of couples where the wife does her own thing, is able to find her own successes. She's just not as successful as her husband. And that should be okay, because he's working hard to make sure she has a great lifestyle. Why are men getting bashed for giving their wife a great lifestyle that she ain't got to work herself in the ground for, like these women are now? There's this Italian woman, right? She went viral on social media. She ran a pizza place up there in, I think, New Jersey. And okay, I'm gonna be real. She went viral because she had big assets for an Italian woman. Okay, But she also ran this pizza place. Do y'all know in one of the video clips, she was complaining about how she needed a break. She wanted to go on vacation. She needs a man. You know, she told the women, don't get upset with her. But she needs a man to take care of her. And then soon after that, this same woman sold her pizza shop after running it for over 20 years. I think almost 30 years. At some point, these women are going to learn that it's better to be with a man who's willing to work and build everything himself than for you to be out there doing it. Because if a man sees that you're out there working yourself into the ground, he's not going to pay you no attention because he understands you're going to compete with him and you're not going to respect his masculinity and him wanting to be a leader. And sooner or later, these women, I'm talking to you Gen Zers, I'm talking to you millennial heifers, you're going to learn sooner or later that it was better to be with that man and let him run the household instead of running yourself into the ground just to prove that you can do whatever a man can do.
Like, I support whatever works for a person, but I have a purpose and I couldn't give up my dream. And I decided to pursue the things that I wanted to pursue. And then we did not get married. And along this journey, I've dated men. And, you know, I work in the entertainment industry. You know, I'm a radio host around all these successful men, but it didn't always align to marriage. And that's fine because my journey is my journey. And I think that women, just like guys, have the ability to go off and make something of themselves. Like, I've never heard anybody say, 50 Cent got all that money, but he ain't got no wife. I've never heard a man say that.
I've heard people say that. I've heard people say that about 50. 50's had girlfriends here and there, right? And he said it himself that he was on a celibacy journey last year. I think that's a bad. What about Denzel? Denzel has a wife. Why don't she use Denzel? Denzel has a wife. A lot of these men in entertainment have wives, right? Even professional athletes, a lot of these guys have wives they've been with for years, right? Not to say that those marriages don't always end in divorce, you know, but like she always try to make it seem like men, if men are doing it, women can do it. Men are different. You know, men are the creators of families. You know, they can go and mess around with a bunch of different women and have a bunch of different children and build different families. It's a different dynamic. These heifers are crazy. Yeah, people do say that about 50 and they ask, right. They always want to do what men do. Why do y'all want to compete with men so bad? I don't understand it. Why do you want to compete with men so badly? It's sick. It is sick how much these heifers want to compete with men. It's just sick.
Actually, I actually hear men
Make
say,
sure y'all like the stream.
Why would he get married? He shouldn't even get married. It's almost like men will tell other successful.
First Tamron Hall and now Cam embarrassing Kendra tears of joy.
Right. Appreciate that, Divine Photos. But she sets herself up for that because her stance and what she, in her it just doesn't make sense. Right. But this is just a business to her. And it's like that with a lot of these women, you know?
Men not to get married. Well, if men don't want to be husbands, how are women going to become wives?
Well, she's not. What she's not saying right there is that the reason why men would tell other men not to get married is because we have to see story after story of these men getting divorced by their wives because women file divorce 70% of the time, and these men get dragged through the courts, reputations ruined because of these greedy heifers. So that's why we tell men not to get married, because we tired of seeing these men in court getting their reputations dragged through the mud because a heifer wants full custody and she wants child support, spousal support, and she wants her lifestyle funded. So yeah, that's why we tell men not to get married. because we see the damage you heifers do when you want to go to court for child support and spousal support.
Like, two things can't be true. And why are we having this judgment, I feel at? And I understand I'm unique because I host a single show, so I understand it's relative. But I think overall, there's like an attack against single women who may be successful, and the narrative is you have it all but a man. And sometimes we need to say, thank God. Maybe that is why I'm successful, because I don't have something holding me back. Every man is not a blessing. Some men truly are nightmares.
It just seemed like excuses to me. I don't know about y'all, but it just seemed like she's blaming the men. It's the men. It's the men. Well, who's choosing these men? Like, listen. Yeah, like, listen, ladies. You are choosing to be with dysfunctional men. You are warned. You are warned about these men. And you know what you heifers do? You get with them anyway. Listen, shout out to everybody that's here. Shout out to everybody that's watching me right now on YouTube, Kick, Rumble, Twitch. And make sure y'all are following me over on those platforms as well at Jada Black. Why is, and now maybe y'all seen this too, right? We have seen women get warned by their family, by their fathers, by their mothers. They get warned about the men that these women choose. And you know what these women do? They get with these men and stay with these men. They will defend these men, only to later get their hearts broken by these men. You can't tell these women what to do. But of course, it's blame the men. It's the men. It's their fault. But I thought y'all the prize. If women are the prize, why are you blaming men? If women are the prize in the relationships, why are you blaming the men, saying that the men messed up the relationships? But you're the prize, which means you should be having your pick of men. And in that situation, you're choosing the right man for you, right? So if you're the prize and you have all these men trying to get with you, and you choose a man and that relationship fails and you get your heart broken, how is it always still the man's fault? How about the heifer needs to choose better? Why every man you get with you claim is abusive and a narcissist? How do you always choose those men? It's because the qualities that you see in one, you see in another, and you choose that.
Sometimes you just gotta laugh it off. Man, listen, I've seen your content.
Yes.
All right, and you bring singles to the table and
Yeah.
ask them relative and important questions,
Right.
right? So since we're on Funky Friday,
Yes.
I'm going to flip the script and
Yes.
ask you the questions.
Okay. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay.
Okay. That's pretty much all I'm gonna play from this one. I'm gonna get to this Jay-Z interview. All right. I want to shout out to everybody that's here, man. We're about to switch topics. I think we've spoken about as much as we can speak about with that. But I want to get to this Jay-Z. Where is the video? Is the video here? Oh, no. Let me go back and get it. Let's see. Jay-Z interview. Salute to everybody that's here on all the platforms here. Let's see. Is this? Let me make sure I find the right one. All right. Okay, here we go. a lot of people want me to speak about this Jay-Z interview. Yo, Rock Nation is in trouble. You know Rock Nation is in trouble when Jay-Z pops out with an interview. Salute to everybody that's here. Damn, the notification just went out. Are you serious? So let's get into this Jay-Z interview. People want to know my thoughts on this. And as I said before, whenever you see Jay-Z doing interviews, you know that something is wrong. Something is up with Rock Nation. Rock Nation has went through some L's. Rock Nation is a company in free fall. They're bleeding money. None of their artists are really selling or really in success mode. The only successful people would be Beyonce. Beyonce is going tour after tour. She might be going on tour again. Meg Thee Stallion is she's not making no money. So now Jay-Z is going to be doing shows in New York, and this is his way of breaking the ice. This is like an ice-breaking interview. So we're going to get into this. Salute to everybody that's here. Make sure y'all like the stream if you haven't. We're going to get into Jay-Z.
It used to be like that. Like, you have to be super sure before you put those kind of things on a person, especially a person like me. Like, even when we were doing the worst things, we were doing bad, we had those kind of rules. There was a line, no women, no kids. You know, you hear those sayings, but those are things that I took from the street. You know, morals, integrity. Code. Those things I took because we lived and died by that. So it's strict for me. Like, it meant a lot to me. I took that really hard. And I knew that we was gonna walk through that. We was gonna walk through that. Because, you know, first of all, it's not true. And the truth is, you know, at the end of the day, it still reigns supreme.
When you're feeling these feelings, how do you then bounce back and get back to being Jay-Z?
I don't know. This is the first thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just like, all right, man, we played enough defense. 2026 is all offense.
Everyone has free.
Yo, we know you're going on offense. We know you're going on offense because you have no choice now. You can't get loans.
Reasonable doubt.
Business is struggling.
34,000 record. We were in like at MTV, like, give us a performance in the last slot.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? You don't even have a video that we played. They ain't say these words, but you know what I'm saying. The energy was like, you're new.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't proven yourself. But in our mind, the fact that we released an album was proof enough of concept. We did it. That was hard then. We're not in control of distribution, marketing, anything. We're going like a street level, street team approach to this. And so when we put the album out, that was the win.
Yeah.
And we had some success. And remember, on the streets, we were platinum. Anywhere you was gonna go, you was gonna hear Reasonable Doubt.
Did you feel that way at the time though?
No, at the time I wanted a deal.
Were you
That's why I went to
dejected
every single
almost?
label. Huh?
Did you feel like dejected or?
I wasn't, yes, I was rejected, not dejected.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? Like, every door was, but I always believed in myself.
Yeah.
It wasn't a moment that I thought, I'm not good enough for this industry. At every rejection, I thought, why do they have this guy in place? He doesn't know what's going on.
Like, they're slacking.
They're
not seeing the vision. When you look back at that time, are there things that you're glad that you didn't know?
Yeah, of course. It's almost like if you're in the room and you go through this room and you get to the end and you open the door and you're like, wow. And then you turn back and you turn the lights off and it was like pits and snakes. You know, your naive nature just naturally navigated you through the dark. And that's made up for the things that we didn't know. And it helps because you can learn something so much that you just tap out.
This dude, Jay-Z, looks like he's being interviewed by an intern. They went and got an intern to do this interview. They went and got one of the interns to do this interview because, you know, Jay-Z not going to want to take any hard questions, but Jay-Z, we got questions. We want to know, yeah, it's very scripted. Jay-Z, we want to know, why is it that Rock Nation, you in particular, are at a point to where you don't have any successful artists around you? I mean, I think Pusha's with Rock Nation, right? Rihanna's a part of Rock Nation. But you're working your wife into the ground with these multiple tours. And apparently she may be about to go on the road again, possibly with you. Why is it that, you know, you're sending your lieutenant, Desiree Perez, the government informant, to go get money for you? You still can't get it. You go to the Middle East, you still can't get it. Rock Nation is failing. Not only that, you had the accusations that were made against you. And the fact that you and Nas have basically switched places, because one of the things about the Nas and the Jay-Z beef was that you had all these people saying, well, Nas may have won the battle, but Jay-Z won the war because Jay-Z got more money. He was the head of Def Jam at one point. You know, he's a successful businessman. He started Tidal, all that, right? Well, Nas, not only does he, you know, he still makes music to this day, by the way. Still an incredible artist. But Nas has become a very, very effective businessman. You know, he's had business ventures that have become successful, that has made him money, that has built up his portfolio. Not only that, he was able to get, he got the okay to build a casino. He's making those power business moves that people thought that only Jay-Z could do. Not understanding that Nas was studying. And he slowly but surely built himself up as a businessman. And not only has he, and again, I'm a fan of Jay-Z's music. I'm saying the catalog is the catalog. But I have to be real here. Him and Nas have basically switched. Like, not only does Nas have the musical legacy, the beef legacy, but he also has the financial legacy, because Nas can go anywhere and get loans and they'll give it to him. Just like they did with the casino. And yeah, Jay-Z has turned on a lot of people in the industry. Look at what happened with Rockefeller. Jay-Z will do whatever helps himself. Nas also got to go ahead to complete the Hip Hop Museum in Bronx, New York. Okay. That's the thing. Nas is smart. He studied. He took his time. And now you got Jay-Z in full PR mode, Rock Nation in full PR mode, because they're not the juggernaut that they were years ago. You had Rock Nation Sports, and Rock Nation was just growing, right? Well, now it's not. And now Jay-Z is going to have to go out there and pick up a microphone. You know, Jay-Z made all these deals to help himself. Look at what happened with the NFL. I think that really, now again, I'm not the biggest Kaepernick fan. I've been critical of him. But he did turn on Kaepernick for himself. And you know what he said? No, we don't need no more kneeling. We don't need no more kneeling. We don't need, stop all that kneeling. Money. I'm here to make money. You better stop all that kneeling. I'm here to get the money. You up here kneeling. I'm here to get paid. And that's what he did. The NFL bought off the black community who are in support of Kaepernick, because once Jay-Z signed a deal to basically be the lead on the halftime shows of the Super Bowl, Jay-Z took the money and ran and said, stop all that kneeling. And y'all know what happened? People moved on. Kaepernick became, and also Kaepernick hurt himself because he took a payout from the NFL too. He took a payout from the NFL too. But nobody wants to talk about that. Everybody wants to talk about just about Jay-Z. Well, Kaepernick took the money too. That's why Jay-Z didn't feel bad. He like Kaepernick took he got paid too. Kaepernick got paid. I got paid. You know.
I think that happens a lot in the music business. Like people get in the music business for the
God forbid something goes.
Everyone has free offers.
I'm trying to get because they don't have timestamps. I would think they would have had timestamps, but they don't have any timestamps. So. I might have to skip a little bit here to get to some of the points that I want to get to. Again, make sure y'all like the live stream. Jay-Z out here just flipping on anybody to get a check. That's that karma for you, man.
Freak out. We can.
It's not even God forbid when something goes wrong. When something goes wrong, everything in life happens for your greatest good. Mm-hmm. Everything. I had to not get a deal in order to become who I am today. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like the greatest blessing of all. It was the greatest blessing that I didn't get a deal, right? So again, everything in your life, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you.
When you
don't skip over that.
Yeah.
He's coaching them up in the interview.
Yeah, like the day.
The day.
Yeah. My favorite verse is off that just drum. You know, and I just see the world for what it is, not for what I want it to be. I'm a realist, not an ideal. It's not idealistic. People speak about the world how they want to see it. You're never gonna win like that.
Well, Jay, we know you definitely see the world for what it is
independent.
because you're willing to flip on anybody to get paid. So yeah, we know that. That's why you've burnt so many bridges with people.
That's right, kind of like in the spirit of Prince. When you embody that, do you feel like you are kind of setting a mold or leading a charge for like what the successful black man is allowed to do? And like breaking these spaces, breaking these confines?
Yeah, I even want you to take that out of your vocabulary.
Take what?
Allowed, you know what I'm saying? We're not allowed to do anything. You know, in order for someone to allow you, they have to have authority over you. Mm-hmm. No one has authority over us. We exist like everyone else here. No one can allow us to do anything. But that word comes from a real space. And I want to eliminate all those type of words for us. Yeah. Yes, so the answer to that is yes.
You know what's funny? You know, Diddy, when Diddy would speak a lot about what he was doing in the industry, he talked about black people and he wanted to do things to help his people, but he also damaged a lot of people. Diddy damaged a lot of people. Even the people who worked for him, the people closest to him, he was a danger to. And, you know, you got to be careful of people who hide behind blackness because all the people who hide behind it the most have the worst intentions. They just want to use black people. So don't ever let nobody hide behind blackness. And then you look at them and what they've done and they ain't done shit. Okay? Except for empower themselves. And that's what goes on.
You're on a mission to eliminate words like allow, like you said. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that makes you a target sometimes from?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. What's the Nipsey thing? Pray for me, y'all. One day I'm gonna have to pay for these thoughts. Real niggas is extinct. It ain't safe for me, my dog. These are real fucking lyrics.
You've come back to that a lot in the last few years. Like the more I reveal me, the more they will kill me. Stuff like that. When you say they, like who is that?
Whatever the threat to, however the system is set up to keep things at status quo and keep us in a position of using words like allow. Mm-hmm. So anyone that's culpable in creating the system that we operate under, that's they.
Yeah.
That's they. And it actually goes beyond color.
Yeah.
Because I've encountered that a lot. Where it was just like, okay, this successful black man make it. Let me go to him.
Yeah.
And for help. And they're like, you don't fuck with no rap shit.
Oh, wow.
Not like out like that, but you know,
that's the energy.
Like the energy. It's like you see the energy.
Yeah.
You know?
I was thinking about how you described last year as being angry and for the first time in a while. And I wondered what it felt like to be pulled back into that feeling and how you pulled yourself out or how you leaned on the people around you.
Yeah.
I've been saying to pull you
I
out.
needed the people around me more than ever. Because usually when I have that feeling, I would just make music and just be therapeutic. I'll be able to, I'll bloat it out.
Yeah.
And I would be like, I'll move on. I had to sit in that for a long time. And luckily I had that. And right, again.
You know what I'm noticing from this interview? It just seems very self-indulgent, right? And he wants to play the victim. They coming after me. Jay, you're a part of these people. You were hanging out with the Weinsteins of the world, right? You were in the Hollywood circles. You're not an underdog. You are the head of Rock Nation, a company that is being used to harm people, reportedly. If you look at what's going on with Desiree Perez's daughter, you look at what's going on with Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. Why do you think Meg Thee Stallion keeps suing people? She ain't got the money to sue people. Who's putting her up to it? You're not an underdog. You're out here making things worse for people. And now because you need money and good PR, you want to pick up the mic.
And I built this this circle that's really safe for me, of people that really love me, not using me, and really care for my best interests. So I was able to have that in the time, the most crucial time for me.
Yeah.
Especially people that were close to me, and I'll explain. So when those type of things happen, people run. They don't care what happened. They don't care. It's like, save yourself.
Yeah.
So I have partners. I've had big deals with, I called my guy from LVMH, hey man, this is coming, and I can't get rid of it. I can't take a settlement.
Yeah.
It ain't in my DNA. First of all, I had to tell my wife, let's just back up.
Yeah.
It ain't even in me. I know what this is the weight that this is gonna bring on our family. I can't do it. The makeup, I would die. It would have been cheaper, yes. Cheaper, quicker, move on with your life. It was like a testament because people know me. I know who you are, and that's impossible. And not only we standing by you, but what do you need?
Yeah. What did you kind of do to come back from that personally or emotionally, I guess?
I'm still working with that. That's a great question. I'm still dealing with that.
What was it like watching Blue?
Let's see. Skip through some of this. But yeah, that's pretty much it on Jay-Z. I can't take the narcissism anymore. When we got some other topics that we're going to get into. But I want to say Jay-Z is a guy who is about protecting what he has built. And now he has to pick up a microphone because he's lost, good public will, so to speak. Let's see. All right, people. Y'all want to get into some side topics? Let me know in the chat room. And salute to everybody that's on the other platforms: Kick, Twitch, Rumble. Bruce Lee, I see you over there on the Twitch, man. Y'all give me a second. I'm just going through some of these comments. They got boss there. Y'all know what's crazy? When I was on Twitch, right? I modded up a bunch of people, and I stopped using the platform for years. But a bunch of the people I have modded up on Twitch ain't on the platform no more. So I had to go and clean house. Had to get them out of here. Had to get them out of here. You don't support me? Get the out of here. Had to go in there. I ain't streamed all this in 2018, 2019-ish. You know what I'm saying? You gotta clear some of the dead weight that be on these platforms they ain't using in a while. That's what you gotta do sometimes. You gotta get rid of the fake and the fraudulent and the weirdos and the suckers. Let's see. All right, hold on. I want to get to. Give me a second. I'm doing this. Let me put the socials up. Again, make sure y'all follow the social media. I want to get to Jaden Ivy's wife. Oh, we're going to get to that heifer. Hold on. Wait. We got to get to her. Over here faking the funk. But yeah, y'all go follow the social. The email is there. Where is this? Is this here? Okay. Okay. Yo, give me a second, y'all. Because I want to speak on this. We just taking a quick intermission because I want to get this post up. Now, for those who don't know, that's Jaden Ivy and his white wife. Okay. That's Jaden Ivy. And that is his wife, Caitlin. Right? Now, when Jaden Ivy went viral on social media, and then he got fired or let go, but he's going to get his whole salary, which is probably why she's back. She done came back. She was nowhere to be found. As a matter of fact, Jaden Ivy said that she left him. That's what he said. Nobody made that up. Jaden Ivy said that out of his own mouth, that she left him over this situation. I believe that because these people are they're there for the good times, but when the bad times or whatever, I don't know why this will be considered bad, but I guess, public perception, you're a professional athlete. He says she ghosted him, and I believe him. I don't think he lied about that. I think she was mad because she thought that he messed up the bag. And then when she realized that he was getting his full $10 million salary for the season, she said, wait a minute. I'm not leaving. What are you talking about? And by the way, people were also saying she was on there for the money. Matter of fact, let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this post. They got 3 kids together. She put this post up. I think this might have been either yesterday or the day before yesterday. This might have been sometime during the weekend. Now on the left, you see that's him, her, and the kids. And it's a quote that says, she only wanted you because you were in the NBA. And at the bottom of it, she had a bit of a meltdown. She says, we were communicating all morning of that day. People say things for attention. Do not be deceived. Why would he lie on you? Why would he lie on you? And why did y'all have to keep in constant communication? You didn't want to talk to him because you were mad. And you only contacted him back once this story went viral of you leaving, Becky. What have I told y'all about white women? Listen, I don't dislike white women. I wouldn't go out of my way to be married to a white woman in America. Maybe somewhere else, but not America. These women they're very two-faced. right? And I just don't trust him. And I'm a black man. I should feel that way, right? And on the other side, as you see, she says, if you know me, you know I have never once abandoned that man through all the trials. And I still haven't now. There is obviously a lot more going on, so leave your conspiracies and guesses to yourself. Because y'all know I made a video. Shout out to everybody that watched my video. We don't believe you. You need more people. You left that man. You ghosted him, and you were going to continue to do it until he told people, and it picked up steam. Y'all noticed these people make statements after I make videos. I knew when I made my video that heifer was going to respond and claim that it's a lie. They always do this after I post videos. Because in my initial video, that video, got over 82,000 views right now. Once I posted my video, I knew she was going to respond because it picked up traction. People are like, oh, she left him? Of course she did. Of course she abandoned him in his time of need. And when she realized he was going to get all his money, and there's a possibility, if he stops the street preaching, that he could be back in the NBA, she said, wait a minute, I haven't left. Well, then why would he say that you left if you never left? You were mad at him for what he did. You probably cursed him out or threatened to leave him, and that's why he said what he said. He wouldn't have said that if it wasn't true. He said family abandoned him as you, his wife. You weren't trying to communicate with him. You weren't answering your calls. You ghosted him because you were mad that he messed up the bag. You got to ask ourselves the question, if Jaden Ivy wasn't an NBA player, would she be in a relationship with him? Would she marry him? I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think she'd be with him if he wasn't a successful NBA player. And when I say successful, he actually was a young player that was getting better. And that's why the Bulls went and got him in a trade. You got to be careful with these Beckys, white women. Let me tell y'all something about these white heifers in America. If I was to ever date a white woman, it would not be in North America. America. Canada has some very attractive women, so it is what it is. But in America, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can't do it. Yo, I saw there's a video on X of a white female driving in her car or truck or whatever she is. She's asking the question, why do black men date her or want to date her when she's at her heaviest? Yes, that heifer put that video out. And I'm saying to myself, why would you put that video out? Why do you want to know why black men would want to date you when you're at your heaviest? Do you want black men to reject you? Like, I don't get it. But this is white women in America. And they're very two-faced. Yeah, you can't trust these women in America. Absolutely not. I don't trust them. And the thing is that they've been all propagandized with feminism. They're socially liberal. And you got this female lying about whether or not she abandoned him or not. Look at this post. Because the internet started to clown her, that's when she responded. She probably ain't even in the same room with him right now. You know damn well you want to divorce him badly. You know you do. But you know you also going to be a single mother, and there's a chance he'll be back in the NBA making millions of dollars with another woman. And she just can't take the risk. She can't take the risk. What's good, Young Jay? Make sure y'all like the stream if you haven't. Kent Bazemore's wife left him once his career was on the decline. Absolutely. That happened. And you see his struggles, what he's going through. This man went through a lot as a child. with a WNBA playing mother who he says never loved him. And has turned her back on him because he says family turned their back on him. He was abused as a child, according to him. And people want to mock him. You want to mock a man who went through what looks to be a very bad childhood. Male trauma makes people laugh. And you wonder why these men are losing their minds and killing other people. Because y'all laugh at male trauma. Y'all think male trauma is a joke. The best thing he needs is people who actually love him around him. And it seemed like the only person who really loved him, he felt like, was his wife. And she abandoned him. And that's according to what he said. Nobody made that up. That's not a conspiracy theory. These people who he said are family, all of a sudden want nothing to do with him. And you wonder why he's in the condition that he's in mentally. It could be a cry for help. But when the people around you show you how fake they are, who do you turn to? But go deeper into your religious faith. This is why I tell y'all, man, marriage for what? These women have one foot out the door. They got one, and then they have one foot out the door, and then they'll blame the man as to why they left. No, you left because you wanted to leave. White women in America are not what y'all think they are. If you're going to date a white woman from overseas. Messing with white women in America, all this propaganda, all this feminism. These women grew up in cucked households. The father's cucked, the mother's running the household, pushing him around. She sees that growing up. That's why she turns to black men, because she did not know masculinity in her life. So she goes to the men who she sees the most masculine energy from. As much as the alt-right gropers don't want to hear this, they see masculinity in black men. They don't really see it in white men because they grew up in a household with a white father. They got pushed around by his wife. But can you trust a woman like that? I think he should personally leave her alone. Because if she loved and supported him, why did you wait days later after everything happened? Once you started getting, mocked and after I made my video, you want to put out this response. You put this response out because you realize you messed up. You mad because you thought he fumbled the bag. Is that all you care about? You should care about his mental health. You should care about him being able to live in a world where he's able to practice his religious faith and not feel like he's being forced to embrace gay night at the Chicago Bulls stadium, Chicago Bulls arena. This is why I'm not for dating white women in America. Just look at how her upbringing, the family dynamics. Why is she dating black men? Yeah, she did jump the gun. She did not think he was going to get all his money. When she found out he got all his money for the season, which is about $10 million, she putting out messages like this. She realized that he's still getting paid for the season. But hopefully Jaden is able to get the help that he needs and is able to get around people who actually care about him. Salute to everybody that's here. Absolutely. I want to get on this Jada Pinkett video that was sent to me. Make sure y'all like the stream. 50 Cent actually shared this on his social. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can get. Okay. So let's get into this video with Jada Pinkett. All right. Talking about how, no man can make her happy. Not even Will. Will can't make her happy.
It is not his responsibility to make you happy. He can't. It's impossible. But it took me forever. Hard-headed, stubborn, because that romantic idea. And that's why I talk about checking the boxes. It's like, I did everything I was supposed to do. You get to have your dream. How come I'm not having mine? And that's because Will was doing what he wanted to do.
He was making himself happy.
He was making himself happy. Make yourself happy. It is not his responsibility to make you happy. He can't. It's impossible. But it took me forever. Hard-headed, stubborn, because that romantic idea. And that's why I talk about checking the boxes. It's like, I did everything I was supposed to do. You get to have your dream. How come I'm not having mine? And that's because Will was doing what he wanted to do.
He was making himself happy.
He was making himself happy. Make yourself happy.
And this, imagine being married to this woman. Imagine being married to a woman who is just straight up miserable. 50 Cent reposted this. He said, "Goddamn, Father God, thank you for not letting me get into no relationship like this. Happy Easter. God bless." Like seriously. Jada Pinkett is crazy. She's crazy. It looks to me like you were upset because he found happiness in what he did career-wise and not at home because you're miserable. You're a miserable woman. And that's why you went out there and cheated on Will. Self-admitted cheater. But again, women are going to overlook it and make excuses for it because they do the same thing. They be out there cheating too. Just straight up miserable. Jada Pinkett is somebody that I would never want to be married to because that at some point she's going to make your day worse. She's not going to make your day better. She's going to make it worse because she's not happy because she wants to be promiscuous. She does not want to have any sort of loyalty to you. She wants to be independent, as these heifers say. Whenever a woman say independent, she want to be a hoe. She want to be a hoe. That's why she want to be independent.
It is not his responsibility to make you happy. He can't. It's impossible. But it took me forever. Hard-headed, stubborn, because that romantic idea. And that's why I talk about checking the boxes. It's like, I did everything I was supposed to do. You get to have your dream. How come I'm not having mine? And that's because Will was doing what he wanted to do.
He was making himself happy.
He was making himself happy. Make yourself happy. It is not.
You know who makes Jada happy? This is the only man I feel like could make Jada Pinkett happy. But he's no longer here. And he hasn't been here for over 30 years. But the way that she acts about him lets you know that she got with security. Will Smith was a security I don't think Tupac was looking to be with her like that. Maybe in her own mind. And because Will was never Tupac, he never made her happy. She's that female that talk about how she don't want lames. Right? She's that female that says she don't like lames, right? But then end up married to a guy who was considered lame. But usually that happens after, years after she done hit, she done gotten older and hit the wall, right? But in this situation, Jada got with Will early. And I think she probably feels like she gave Will her best years. And maybe she also thought that she'd be a bigger celebrity than Will. She thought that she'd have a better career than Will. That turned out to not be true. And she still did acting while with Will, but then she started having kids, and then she saw how Will got more and more successful. And she just started to hate him even more. Because everything you see out of her is straight up jealousy. Jealousy of how successful he had become over the years, which culminated in the August Alsina situation, which she totally pushed, by the way, because she wanted to make everything about her. She wasn't able to be with Tupac, but she was able to be with a young up-and-coming Will Smith, and she took that opportunity. And in her mind, she feels like she sacrificed something to be with Will Smith. She feels like she sacrificed her success in her career to be with him. No, you were never going to be on that level. It wasn't like she was barefoot and pregnant at home. See, that's the thing. Like, Will Smith didn't suppress her ambitions to be an actress in Hollywood. She still had opportunities. She just wasn't good at them. Enough to the point to where she had the success that he had. The talent that he had. She just wasn't there. And when your own wife is jealous of you, what can you do as a man? Because you got children by her. You can't totally abandon her. He's off in Africa right now. I think, isn't he in Angola? And he's dancing with this lady and having the time of his life. He's always happiest when he's not around her. And the thing is that he doesn't have to be around her. He could cut the cord, but he knows that she's going to go after him hard for support. That's why he refused to divorce her. He knows that she's going to go after him for spousal support. She can't get child support. Them kids are grown. But she can get spousal support. She would do what Dr. Dre's wife did. Dr. Dre had to pay his ex-wife $100 million to go away. And I'm not sure. Let me see what Will Smith's net worth is. Will Smith net worth. Will Smith, as of 2026, his net worth is $350 million. She's going to want half of that. And Will sees it as it's cheaper to keep her, but I'm going to go live my life and you live yours. Apparently she moved back in with him. The heifer don't even want to pay her own bills. She want to move back in with him. It's cheaper to keep her. Listen, I wouldn't want to be miserable. The kids are grown. You don't have to stay with her anymore. You don't. You can move on. Don't let her keep you in this marriage so she can keep you from being happy. Now, people say things about Will Smith personally. I have no proof or information, so I'm not going to say what he is or isn't. But all I know is this. This man seems a lot happier when he doesn't have to deal with her. He seems happier. Hold on a second. Happier. Okay. So, salute to everybody that's here. Jada Pinkett is such a jealous heifer. Oh, she a jealous heifer. Let me talk about Kenny Smith. How many of y'all remember the video I did on Kenny Smith? It might have been about 7 years ago. Hold on, let me actually go and get the video. I did a video on NBA, former NBA player. Let's see, hold on a minute. Kenny Smith, former NBA player. Let me see. Let me put this video up. He got divorced about 7 years ago. And the thing is about Kenny Smith, and we're going to get into it, this man has been married and divorced twice. Married and divorced twice. Imagine that, right? Married and divorced twice. But now Kenny is apparently engaged to be married for the third time to this particular woman here. Her name is Tia, and her son actually plays basketball. I think he might be in high school right now. They met, I think, at a basketball event in Dubai, I believe. You got to ask yourself, why was he in Dubai? But anyway, he's about to be in his third marriage. Now, this is the video I did. Maybe y'all remember this video where I talked about Kenny Smith. All right. His wife left him. This was 7 years ago. He had to pay her to go away. This was his second divorce, by the way. His second divorce. And now, 7 years, now this video was in 2018. Now, 7 years later, he's getting engaged to be married again. I'm not here to say that, he can't be happy. But it's just like, if it didn't work the first time, or the second time, you think it's going to work a third time? And I don't even think they've been together that long. Shout out to Joshua Hughes.
Donovan Mitchell and Kat might want to rethink about getting married.
Yep, appreciate that. Yeah, I'm seeing the situations like, you know what I'm saying? And let me just step off of Kenny Smith real quick, him and Tia, right? These guys, Donovan Mitchell and Karl Anthony Towns, they're in relationships. I don't even think Donovan Mitchell's been with, his fiance that long. And now they're engaged. Women will be on their best behavior when they are engaged. No, before they get engaged, excuse me. While you're in the dating phase, they will be on their best behavior. I see this a lot with athletes. And then the engagement happens, and then you start to see the red flags. But in some cases, you don't see the red flags until you get married. Dame Lillard went through that. Portland Trail Blazer, Dame Lillard, he married a woman that he was with. I think he met her in college. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he meet his ex-wife in college? They date. They were together for years, over a decade. They had children together. And then he decides, you know what, maybe it's time to get married. And then within less than a year, he files for divorce. Do you know how bad it has to be when a man files for divorce? You know how bad that marriage has to be when a man files for divorce within a year? The same thing with Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. Jeezy filed for divorce within a year and a half of being married? He just couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't take it anymore. So when you see Kenny Smith, a guy who's doing very well for himself, but you go through a divorce, you have to pay her to go away. Y'all gotta understand that he finalized his divorce in 2021. He finalized divorce in 2021. And now he's in this relationship with Tia. Kenny Smith divorce. Hold on, I'm looking over some things real quick. Now let's go over the settlement in 2021 to his ex-wife. This woman here. By the way, when I made this video, a lot of people made a lot of assumptions about his ex-wife, but you know. So in regards to his ex-wife here, reports indicate monthly payments of approximately $16,000 a month for child support and $27,000 a month for spousal support through 2028. So let's just start right there. Kenny Smith is currently paying his ex-wife. Now, this is not the first ex-wife. I don't even know what the first ex-wife got or getting, but this is the second wife right here. This is the second one. She's getting $16,000 a month in child support and getting another $27,000 a month for spousal support going into 2028. This is 2026. So for the next, 2 years, he's going to be paying his ex-wife while in this relationship and soon marriage to this new wife. Now, there's more. The settlement includes a $1.1 million equalization payment. So you had to pay her $1.1 million. The pair agreed to share joint legal and physical custody of their children. Kenny retained 2 homes in New Jersey and a Bentley, while Gwendolyn returned a leased BMW. So she had to get her own car. Now, Gwendolyn filed for divorce in 2018, citing irreconcilable differences while initially appearing contentious with reports of wage garnishment to cover support payments in 2019. The split was described by Osborne as amicable, of course, because you're getting paid over $40,000 a month. Yeah, she's getting paid over $40,000 a month in support. So of course it's going to be amicable now, but apparently by 2028 she's going to no longer get those payments. So hopefully she's saving her money. Right, he's going to be doing TV for the next 10 years. I mean, he signed a new. No wonder he signed that new contract with ESPN. He went from being on TNT, and they moved the show from TNT to ESPN. He immediately signed that new contract because he got wives to pay. Now let's get into what's going on with the new fiance. This according to TMZ. Kenny the Jet Smith just added another highlight to his reel. The Inside the NBA host popped a question to his girlfriend, and she said yes. The NBA champ's new fiance, Tia Juric, I think that's how I pronounce it. She's European. revealed the engagement on her Instagram, showing off a huge diamond ring on that finger with a beautiful beach view serving as the backdrop. Yes to you forever, Tia wrote on Thursday. The soon-to-be married couple has mostly kept their romance under wraps, though Tia shared their first photo together. Of course, she's going to share it because he ain't sharing it. Last February at a Super Bowl event. Smith, of course, is well known as a two-time NBA champion, a long-time basketball analyst. With Tia has largely stayed out of the public eye. What's known is that she's originally from Croatia, and her stepfather is prominent economist and politician. Is it Lubo? I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. She also has a son, Dominic. Smith, who is 60, was previously married to Dawn Revis and The Price is Right model Gwendolyn Osborne. He shares 2 children with each of his ex-wives. So he has 4 children. 4 children all together. Listen, Kenny, I hope it works out for you, bro. I really do, man. Not only is you still paying the ex-wife, I'm pretty sure that this woman is expecting you to front her lifestyle. She ain't looking for nothing less than for you to take care of everything. Listen, I hope it works out for Kenny. I hope I don't have to make another one of these videos about him getting divorced. You know what I'm saying? Because that's crazy. $40,000 a month, but I guess it's up in 2028. She ain't getting no more payments, but, you know, she might end up taking him back to court. Who knows? She might have agreed to it in the short term, but what is she going to do when he no longer has to pay that? I hope she's saving money and she's free and independent to do her thing, because y'all know that these heifers love to talk about how men, the patriarchy is keeping them down and won't let them be successful. Yeah, we'll see. We will definitely see. So hopefully it works out for him. Salute to everybody that's here. Oh, we got topics that we've been talking about today. I think that might be all that I'm going to speak about. I want to save some for the next show. Hold on. Maybe I'll do this last one. Okay, let me talk about, is it Erica Mena? Talk about making a fool of yourself. Let's see. So Erica Mena, that's the woman here. Y'all know I've spoken about her before. She was with Safari, right? Now, the guy that's with her is known as a professional gambler, Lambo AB. So apparently, Erica Mena has been going public with this new guy by the name of Lambo AB, professional gambler, right? They've been posting photos over the last couple months. Well, apparently there's a video that came out recently where he's telling his real girlfriend that the relationship is strictly business. He's like, no, there's nothing going on. It's strictly business. And he's profusely telling her, listen, nothing is going on. This is business. These photos are it's business. I'm not with her like that. So you mean to tell me you hanging around this Latina and you ain't smashing? I don't believe it. I don't believe none of you. You listen, black men ain't leaving no box on the table. Absolutely none. They ain't leaving no box. So he's definitely smashing. Okay. But he's claiming that it's for business purposes. and that there's nothing else going on because he's actually in a relationship with a woman that he's been with for years. And y'all got to understand something about these dudes. Okay, once these dudes, even though if a guy comes into money, if he was with a girl before all of that, he's gonna stick with her. He'll deal with other women, but he'll stick with her. It's clear to me that this, if it's business, what is he getting out of it? Is she paying you? Are you two gonna do a reality show together? Are you part of Lemmy and what he got going on at Zeus Network? Do you have a show on Zeus Network? I don't know. Maybe y'all watch Zeus Network. But this is an embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? This is a woman, every chance she gets, she trashes her ex Safari Samuels. She trashes Safari. She drags him back and forth to court for child support. And you're in a fake relationship and people are clowning her. And apparently he's been trying to take down the original video. That's why I'm not going to, I was thinking about playing the audio. I'm not going to play it because he, you know, you never know people, you know, so he might have some sort of like copyright on it. And as soon as you post something about it on YouTube, right there, right? So I want to know, why do women like a Erica Mena, you know, stoop to these levels to prove something, to prove that they have a man, to prove they're in a relationship? Why don't you just go be in one? But the thing about Erica is that Erica has issues. She has mental issues. And instead of her focusing on therapy and focusing on trying to build this acting career, she has and I'm not dissing Tubi, but she has a Tubi acting career. Now, she has the chance to take it further. I think it's there from what I've seen. I don't think she's bad. But she needs to focus on that. Trying to pretend like you're in a relationship with this professional gambler, it's a bad look and you're being clowned all over social media. But this is the depths that women go through. She ain't the only one. There's a lot of heifers like this, man, faking relationships. You know, because they want to show off for these women who don't care, right? These other women are just going to mock you because they know that man has a girlfriend that he actually wants to be with, that he actually cares about, and that, you know, the money that he's making, he's taking home to her. And you're doing photo shoots. This is what happens when you've burnt all these bridges and you done dated all these different type of guys, and you know the men that you want ain't checking for you like that because they're thinking it's just not worth it. It's not worth it because you know she might be a little bit crazy and you don't want to get caught up in that web. So you just keep your distance. And I don't blame men for keeping their distance because she definitely will make accusations. She's the type to pull an accusation about something. You just can't take the risk. You absolutely just cannot take the risk of her trying to say things about you to try to ruin reputation. He's telling his real girlfriend that it's nothing but business, but I know you black men are not just going to leave no box on the table. You're going to hit it. But, you know, he doesn't want to lose a girl that he actually cares about. Erica's only business and for, you know, clapping sessions, you know, so that's what it's all about. It's all about them clapping sessions, you know, because what is he getting out of it? He's making all this money as a gambler. What can Erica Mena give him that would incentivize him to do these photo shoots? It can't be money. Is she paying them? Paying them from what? She's begging the courts for child support. So obviously she ain't got no money like that, because why would she be running the court to get child support? He has to be incentivized some kind of way. I know people are going to say, well, damn, Jay, why are you talking about that? It ain't got nothing to do with that. Well, if she's going to court begging the judge for child support, how would she be able to financially compensate him for this? And again, like I say, black men ain't leaving especially no Latina box on the table. They just ain't doing it. They're incapable of doing it. Incapable. Because he could do this with anybody. Why her? It's either a situation where they've messed around before and he's doing this as a way to appease her, or he's getting something else out of it. But he's, copping pleas with his real girlfriend because he really wants to be with her. And he doesn't want to be with Erica Mena because Erica Mena is a little loony, which is well documented. Her looniness is well documented. She doesn't mean she's a bad person. She's just a little crazy. Black men, you got to do better. Y'all out here about to mess up your home just so you can get some Latina box. You can get that Latina box any major city in America. You can go overseas and get it. Because again, how was he incentivized to be doing this? Erica don't got the money like that. That's why she's begging the courts for child support. So I'm not trying to hear that. She's begging the courts for child support. I'm not trying to hear nothing about how she paying them. Because then why is she paying them with Safari's money? He's supposed to be the professional gambler. Why would he need her money? We know you black men are tricks, so he ain't asking for no money, but you know what he is asking for? What is these photo shoots for? What, some sort of promo? What are you promoing? Black men are tricks. They paying for it. They're not about to sit up there and have her pay him nothing. He's like, nah, your money's no good here. Your money's no good here. And her money's no good there. But now she's with this special gambler, and she's faking this relationship for validation from strangers that she doesn't know. Now, on a sad note, there's been 2 men who were on her Zeus Network dating show who passed away recently. Most recently in January, he lost his life because to a friend. He was out apparently delivering packages and he was unalived by his own friend. Like, there's some crazy things going on. Maybe y'all didn't know about in regards to Erica Mena. And that's one of the other reasons why I'm doing this story, is because there's just a lot going on with her. Two men, I think they might have been finalists on her dating show on Zeus Network, lost their life due to violence. Both were unalived by people in 2 different states. But it's a lot going on there, man. But she definitely needs to get her life together because she's getting embarrassed right now. So salute to everybody that's here. What's good, Ricky E? Make sure y'all like the stream if you haven't. Russell, John, everybody that was here today. Thank y'all for being here today. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, man. Multi-streaming today. Salute to everybody that's here on YouTube, on Kick, Twitch, Rumble. This is my first stream on all platforms. So make sure y'all, if you're not subscribed to me on those other platforms too, just in case I don't go live here, I go live there. Maybe y'all get notified on those platforms quicker than you would on YouTube. So you may want to subscribe to both, just, to the Twitch or to the Rumble, just so you can get notified when I go live. Maybe you get notified more there, because I think they send you emails when you go live or you post something on Rumble, especially. I know they send emails, I think, when you go live. So you will get notified if you're on Rumble. I know that for sure. If you go live, they will notify your subscribers. YouTube does not do that. So they may send you a YouTube notification, but I know a lot of people don't get those YouTube notifications. All right, so make sure y'all are subscribed to all my other platforms, or follow me on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. That's my email. You can send me content there. All right. You can also send me content on X. You can tag me on X, or you can send it to me on Instagram. Don't send me anything on Facebook, because I barely check my mentions on Facebook because I'm always getting spam with stuff. So, all right, people. think that's it, man. I thought this was a really good show. Thank y'all for being a part of it, spending your afternoon with me. This is early. I may do this more. Let's see. All right, people, that is it. All the relevant links are in the description box.